So let's give
I used to be very young. And the same, I just knew that it's going to be the same t-shirt. So.
It's perfect.
Just 5 years younger.
And also, TechHub people always misspell my name. So
why?
okay. I don't know. It's quite difficult. So even for Romanians. Yeah. Thank you. You're better. Okay. So for those of us who haven't had the chance to Google you before this interview.
Let me just ask, how many of you? I mean, maybe it's easier. How many of you don't know Revolut? Okay, 2 people. So we'll speak with you afterwards. That will be easier.
Okay.
No, really.
So please tell us then, how do you find Romania, and a little bit about your plans here.
I should admit, it's the first time I'm in Bucharest. I heard from my wife that it's a great city, and I should admit that I only saw like 20 minutes of Bucharest at 3 a.m. in the morning, driving with a taxi from the airport, and I just love it. It's you know, actually it's really nice. At least this feeling that you get from the taxi, from Uber, when you drive from the airport for 20 minutes, it's perfect. At 3 o'clock at night, no traffic jams, nothing. Straight into the Hilton hotel. I strongly recommend it to everyone, and I will be recommending to my friends to go to. But yeah, so on the serious note, it's still my first time in Bucharest. I should admit that. What we know from our users that our users in Romania, they love us because so far we have almost 26,000 users. We haven't done anything on actual marketing, apart of submitting some PR press releases to the media, because we had one guy at our London office, and just 10% of his time he was just translating press releases and sending to the media, because of our kind of position on the global fintech arena. Media was writing about us, people were discovering us, people were recommending to other friends, and so far 26,000. Our goal is a bare minimum. We want to have 100,000 users in Romania by the end of this year. My hope is that we're going to have at least 250,000, because there are a couple of reasons for this success, and we know it from other markets. For example, from Poland. First reason for success in Romania, that Romanians have this unique currency. I forgot the name of the currency, but it's a nice currency. It's really a nice currency. No other market uses that currency, right? So you are very unique, but at the same time you are in a bad spot, because whenever you travel or whenever you need to send money outside Romania, you experience these foreign exchange markups by the traditional banks. And some of you who know that banks are making money out of that, and in Romania they make anywhere from 2% to 4% on top of that currency exchange. So we overtake that with the interbank exchange rate, and you get a nice exchange rate. So this is first sign that we're gonna be successful in the market. The second sign is that banks in Romania suck, right? And this is the sign that is everywhere, in a sense that banks hide a lot of fees, hidden fees in their foreign exchange. They charge a lot of fees, and there are a lot of hidden fees around that. So we try to overcome that and be totally transparent.
There's a third thing that you need in order to be successful in Romania, if I may.
It's more than 10 million people, which makes us which makes the country a lot of attractive.
I wanted to talk about that feature that allows people to borrow money. We Romanians like to borrow money, especially only using our ID card.
Do you like to pay the money back?
Well, more often than not. So when will such a feature be available in your product for Romanians?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Obviously, it's a very lucrative feature in itself. It would allow us to earn a lot of revenue on that feature. So just to give you an example, in the UK we already have a credit as a solution. And we partner with a third party in the UK to provide that solution. Right? So within 30 seconds, you can borrow up to £25,000 paid directly into your Revolut account. Obviously not for everyone. Not everyone who applies will get that 25,000. The credit scoring, everything happens within these 30 seconds. So for the rest of Europe, what we plan to do in terms of credit and loan and personal loans is we applied for the European banking license, and once we get the banking license towards the, by half, we hope it to get by end of summer this year, we're going to start rolling out our credit solution for the rest of Europe. That includes Romania.
Perfect, thank you.
And it's going to be, we hope it's going to be much, much cheaper than any of the current solutions because of the disintermediation of the supply chain. Because you said that not everyone is very keen to repay the loans here in Romania, I don't know, we need to develop strong credit models, I guess, stronger than for the rest of Europe.
Looking forward. So let's talk a bit about your competition, about TransferWise and 26. How do you differentiate your business?
I haven't heard of them. Who are they? So when it comes to competition, I think there is enough, there is abundance of users out there for everyone. For all of these new generation, new waves of startups, right? Because they are introducing something better than, let's say, the traditional banks or traditional incumbents have. So I wouldn't say banks are a competition, because we are after, usually once we enter the market, or still now until we get, let's say, 50 million or 100 million users globally, I don't think there's going to be a shortage of these early adopters who would like to switch from bank or from others, right? Whereas for the new wave of competition, the guys that you mentioned, etc., we're totally fine just to, to share the pie of the users. But on top of that, obviously, we are one of the, so I'll give you some of the examples which I really like, tells a lot about the culture. Maybe you had some questions about the culture at Revolut, because it was written a lot in the media. So we work hard. We know that we are against big guys, the guys of the banks and other startups, etc., who raised hundreds of millions of euros, right? So they have money. They have people. Banks have people. Banks have too many people, right? What we have a team, right? Which currently we are just almost 400, but still it's a very small amount compared to like a sizable bank, like even local bank. What we do, we work 14 to 16 hours a day, every one of us, and that instantly brings us to, let's say, 800 people. Right?
I see.
Then we launch let's say, features every week. So last year we launched almost 50 versions on App Store. 50 iterations of 50 versions on App Store. It made us almost, I think, on the global level, like top 3 in terms of how many updates we launched on the App Store. Whereas you see some of the, I'm not going to mention particular banks, but you all saw that on this App Store. You scroll there and you see the app update like 3 months ago from some of the let's say banks, like bug fixes. So this will help, like continuous iteration, continuous like never stopping, never relaxing.
So you said that you work a lot, that you're basically a workaholic. How often do you see your wife?
I have a wife.
You mentioned her.
Less often than they would like to. I will try. Why did you ask this question? I just remember that I had a wife and a kid and a dog now. there is no life-work balance at startup, especially at the startup which with big ambitions. Right? There are different startups. Obviously, some startups would not put these ambitions to conquer the world, or just to make everyone's life, financial life, easier. Whereas like with hundreds of thousands of competitors out there. But for these ambitions, we know that we have to have a proper team. Not everyone can fit the culture at Revolut, right? But again, there's not like panacea, like a drug for this particular reason to grow as fast. So at Revolut, we are after the people with high ambitions, those who work hard, because of the same reason. We know that we are against the rest of the world when it comes to competition, when it comes to pushing the product, pushing the solution, and we have to invest. And technically, there is no life-work balance, and it cannot be for that sort of startups.
Going back to your business, there are two words in the Romanian language that basically scare every person here, and the words are caritas and FNI. You don't know them.
Caritas, I know Caritas.
No, it's something else. No, not at all.
It's probably the regulators, some regulators.
No, those are some financial schemes that happened in Romania, and basically people don't trust banks as much as they should.
Ponzi.
Yeah, Ponzi schemes.
Nice product.
So, how do you gain your customers' trust? What do you do?
That's a very good point about when talking about trust, right?
When you're talking about money, we also talk about trust.
This is the key thing, right? You cannot lose trust even for the second, because then everything can collapse. So when it comes to gaining trust, especially when we are targeting younger generations, those millennials, not always millennials. We have users who are more than 100 years old. But the majority are within 18 to 35 years old, right, at that side. And they give trust very, very easily. Listen to that. They give trust really easily. Otherwise, these ICOs, these cryptocurrencies wouldn't exist. They just give trust. But it's very, very easy to lose the trust at the same time, right? It's kind of the paradox. You get the trust, you can get trust really easily, but you cannot lose it. So we are yet to lose a single cent of our transactions, right? We are yet to lose like something drastically on data, on something, and we cannot afford to do that, because that would be, if not the end of the company, but that huge trust breach, and then it will follow you forever.
I also want to ask you which parts of your business require the most thought and strategy.
Okay, that's too difficult for this late hour. There are many, starting from customer support, how to automate customer support, how to make them happy, not like putting thousands of people in that. So we have that chatbot. And by the way, those guys, because I know that some of you are into these technologies. So our chatbot, for example, she handles, her name is Rika, she handles up to 30% of all the queries that our customers have. And her rating is, you are filming, but don't tell to our live agents. Her rating is better than our live agents' rating. So that's one thing. Another area, obviously, is compliance, is anti-money laundering, and everything what comes with that. Because it's not only there is a lot of regulation in place, but there is also activity, going outside, like fraudulent activity out there. So it's a lot of thought going into that, and risk department obviously has sleepless nights, right, and thinking about the ways to kind of mitigate the risk of something bad happening, because it will in one form or shape happen at some point. Then growth, that's my sleepless nights, how to make sure that we still grow from 5 to 10,000 new users every day without spending anything on marketing, and even more, how do we grow, let's say, 50,000 users every day without spending anything on marketing. Yeah, there's basically anything you can think of is a lot of thought. It's not, life is not easy, as our founder says. Life is not easy. You know, when somebody is complaining, that, but life is not easy.
So I saved the best question for the end of the interview. What's going to happen with the Bitcoin?
I don't want to disappoint too many Bitcoin fans. I'm not a Bitcoin fan personally. I don't know. It's
$1 million.
1 million, yeah, I think 1 million, maybe 950,000, yeah, something like that. No, it's very hard to tell yet. You had this first presentation that the guys were talking about this new protocol they're developing. It's, you see, on the rational level, you have the difference between speed and applicability, etc. It's really big. It's like, okay, we have gold out there, right? We have gold, reserves of gold, but what is the actual use of that gold, right? We pay a lot of money for gold. We think that gold is worth that much, but the usage is, you know, it's not clear. But at the same time, that also tells that Bitcoin, if you like it or not, is an asset class as well. You know, so it's these paradoxes, and I'm probably not in the position, I'm not the person to kind of speculate on what will happen with Bitcoin. Yeah.
So
Sorry for that.
Thank you so much for being here today. I think the jury is ready. They kind of
so thank you.
Chosen. Well done.